What if I told you that the best women's wrestling in North America isn't happening in WWE anymore? For years, WWE fans bragged about having the greatest women's division in the world. The Four Horsewomen Revolution, main eventing Wrestlemania, women's Royal Rumbles, women's Elimination Chambers. But in 2026, something has changed. AEW's women's division isn't just catching up anymore. In my opinion, it has surpassed WWE's women's division in almost every category that matters. The wrestling is better, the storylines are fresher, the characters feel unique. And most importantly, AEW actually feels willing to create new stars instead of recycling the same champions over and over again. Today, we're breaking down exactly why AEW's women's division has become must-watch television, while WWE's women's division is becoming predictable, repetitive, and honestly, kind of boring. And trust me, the biggest reason might actually surprise you. Let's start with WWE. Because this isn't a case of AEW magically becoming amazing overnight. It's also a case of WWE's women's division losing momentum. Think about it. How many times have we seen the same names dominate the championship picture? Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and then back to Rhea Ripley again. Now don't get me wrong, both women are talented. This isn't an attack on either performer, but eventually fans start noticing patterns. And once fans can predict every title change months in advance, excitement disappears. The problem isn't that these wrestlers are champions. The problem is that WWE often feels unwilling to move beyond them. There are talented women sitting on a roster waiting for opportunities. Women who could be elevated into main event stars. Women who could bring fresh rivalries and fresh championships programs. Instead, WWE keeps returning to the same formula, the same rivalries, the same title pictures, the same outcomes. And after a while, it starts feeling less like a competition and more like repetition. Now let's compare that to AEW. One of the biggest criticisms AEW received in its early years was the women's division. And honestly, some of that criticism was deserved. The division wasn't getting enough television time. The roster wasn't fully developed. Storylines felt secondary. But look at where they are now. The improvement has been incredible. Today, AEW feels like a division where multiple women can realistically become champions. That's important, because wrestling is at its best when fans don't know who is going to win. AEW has worked hard to create depth. Instead of feeling like there are only 2 or 3 women who matter, the roster feels far more competitive. Different styles, different personalities, different stories, different paths to success. And that unpredictability creates investment. Fans stay engaged because they feel like anybody can break through. And then there's Thekla. Let's talk about Thekla. Because if you're not paying attention to what she's doing right now, you're missing one of the most fascinating performers in wrestling. Thekla brings something unique. She's not trying to be a copy of anyone else. She has her own presentation, her own character, her own energy. And every time she appears on screen, she commands attention. That's what star power looks like. But it's not just the character work. It's the wrestling, the technical ability, the intensity, the confidence. She understands how to tell stories inside the ring without needing endless scripted promos. Every movement means something. Every match feels important. And that's a huge reason why fans are gravitating toward her. In many ways, she's exactly the type of performer modern wrestling needs more of. A wrestler who combines character, athleticism, storytelling, and authenticity. Not manufactured popularity, not forced reactions. Organic connection. And then we have Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm. 2 women who have helped redefine what the AEW women's division can be. Let's start with Mercedes. Love her or hate her, she's one of the most accomplished female wrestlers of this generation. Her matches consistently deliver. Her presence instantly makes the division feel bigger, and she understands the importance of making every match feel meaningful. Then there's Toni Storm, arguably one of the most entertaining characters in wrestling today. Timeless Toni Storm completely reinvented herself. She took a risk. She created something different, and fans rewarded her for it. Every segment feels memorable. Every promo stands out. Every appearance advances her character. That's storytelling. That's creativity. That's giving audience something they haven't seen 100 times before. And honestly, WWE could learn a lot from that. Another reason AEW's women's division has surpassed WWE is simple: the wrestling itself. AEW women regularly go out there and deliver hard-hitting, technically impressive matches. You see different styles colliding. You see wrestlers allowed to showcase what makes them unique. You see matches that don't always follow the exact same structure. And that variety matters because fans notice when every match feels identical. One of the biggest complaints about WWE's modern product is how formalic it can become. You can often predict the pace, predict the interference, predict the finish, predict who is getting protected, predict who is winning, predict everything. AEW feels less restricted. And because of that, the matches often feel more authentic. At the end of the day, wrestling thrives on uncertainty. Fans want surprises. Fans want new stars. Fans want fresh rivalries. Fans want reasons to care. Right now, AEW's women's division is providing more of those reasons. Meanwhile, WWE feels increasingly comfortable staying inside its established comfort zone. And that's dangerous because once fans stop being surprised, they stop being excited. When every title picture feels obvious, when every championship program feels familiar, when every outcome feels predetermined, the audience eventually checks out. And that's exactly why AEW's women's division is gaining momentum. So when people ask me which company has the better women's division in 2026, my answer is simple: AEW. Not because WWE lacks talent. WWE has incredible talent. The problem is how the talent is being used. AEW has created a division that feels alive, a division that feels unpredictable, a division that continues creating opportunities for new stars. With performers like Thekla, Mercedes Moné, Toni Storm, and so many others, AEW's women's roster feels more exciting than it has ever been. Meanwhile, WWE's women's division feels trapped in a cycle of repetition. Could that change? Absolutely. But right now, if you're looking for the most exciting women's wrestling in North America, AEW is making the strongest argument. But what do you guys think? Has AEW officially surpassed WWE's women's division? Or do you think WWE is still number one? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because we've got a lot more wrestling content coming your way. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.